Hey everybody, it's Angela and I am back with another process video, and this one is for Mercy Tierra's April 27-day challenge, and I actually won the drawing for last month's challenge, and so part of winning that was that I got to pick the theme for this month, and so I picked doing a masculine or boy themed layout. And I find those somewhat challenging, and so I really wanted to see what everybody else would do and what they brought to the table and what they thought about, supplies that seemed more masculine and just their take on it and the colors that they chose and processes that they used. So really excited to, see all the different layouts coming up on the Facebook group. And so my layout for this challenge is going to be this picture of my hubby. And you could see there, as I was talking, the background paper is from the Best of Basic Gray 2 paper pad. And I believe that paper is as well. And I had a few things in my stash. That is from the Basic Gray Hey Boy collection. Those are some Heidi Swap stars that I don't wind up using, but I pulled out like these stickers that said Retrobot. They're an Imaginess that I got, I believe, on clearance at a Cherry on Top. And I pulled out things that had to do with books, like that library card and that other little round tab over there on the right that says "This book belongs to." And the reason I'm doing this kind of space and book themed thing is this picture is my hubby sitting there with his book in the evening, and on the table next to him is a stack of library books. I mean, about 20 of them. And he loves to read, and he loves to have at least, like 15 books on hand because he's an avid reader. He reads really fast. And so we need to have a stack of books there for him to go through. And he loves science fiction. So he says that a good book isn't a good book unless it's got either robots, spaceships, or laser beams. And so that is what my title is going to be. I'm going to do a really long title for me, at least. And so it's a little different for me, but I think that the long title and the font is, having the font is a good thing for masculine. And then again, I'm choosing this star pattern paper, which has the nice navy blue, which, kind of gives a darker masculine feel to it, to me at least. And then I also pulled out that little robot card there right in the center. And then there was a definition for the word robot. And that was on, I believe, the Boys Rule by Crate Paper Collection. I think it was part of their cut apart sheet. So I have that, and then just some other layering pieces. And I really don't have any kind of plan except I'm just going to layer a cluster together using these themed products. So, and doing a long title. So with that in mind, I kind of struggle a little bit to figure out my placement, what I've got to work with here. And I really love that little robot. He's so cute. And then again, just using the library book theme and the space theme to kind of tell my story of what this picture's about. And since I want to do a long title, I really struggle with what alpha to use. So I pulled out those real sparkly gold ones because I thought, well, it's space, gold stars shining. So I went and pulled out a bunch of that, and then I pulled out some black, and then I had some more navy. My problem was with some of the gold ones that I had, all the fonts were really large, and for a large title, I figured it would just take up too much room. So you'll see me debate here. I find another pack of those gold ones because the other one doesn't have very many letters left. These two, I love the ampersand on that one, so I do save that one out for the ampersand, but they were just too large of a font. But some of these others, that one was flat and just didn't have the dimension I was looking for, as well as those small labels. I really wanted a thicker, something with dimension to it. I had those black sparkly thickers, but they were a little bit too cursive-y, if that, I know that's not a word. little too formal. So I love these navy thickers. They have smaller, they're a little bit smaller font. They have upper and lower case, although I don't have quite enough to do initial caps on all the words. So you'll see how I make this work. But so I decide to go with this navy blue thicker. And since I didn't have enough of everything, I made spaceships with an initial cap. Then I think I ran out of ease. And so then I do robots and laser beams all in uppercase. And so that works really well. And then after I decide this, my next dilemma is getting this to show up against a navy blue space background. So you'll see kind of what I come up with. It's not perfect in the end, but I'm happy with it, overall. And I'll tell you, what I like and don't like about it, so it gives you an idea of things to do differently. So I'm just kind of putting those thickers away, and I grabbed the ampersand out of that other one. I really like that, just that little pop of gold. And I had some little gold chipboard stars left over from a previous, like a Scraptastic kit or something. So I'll put touches of gold on this layout. So now I'm going, oh crap, where am I going to put this title where it's going to show up? It's kind of got to be up there over that white paper, and you lose it if it goes off the bottom. So then I go back to that Best of Basic Gray paper pad, and I'm looking through some of the whites, and I find this one, and I kind of like the background of it too. And I think, you know what, I'll just mat my photo on a larger piece so that I have some more white in there to put my title against. So I go ahead and do that, but then if I do it this way, it covered up almost too much of that star paper, and I really love that paper, and it really tells a lot of my story here. So I go ahead and I actually make this a smaller piece, and I turn it on its side like that, so it's more tall than it is wide. I'm going to trim it down here a little bit more. I think about using the back side of it, but that was just a little bit too busy. So I figure I'm going to go with this, and that way I can kind of get my title all up onto either the photo or that white paper. So now I figure I better start kind of gluing some of this down since it's starting to come together. I want a little few more pops of red, so I just cut that tag in half, and I'll use the other piece on the other side. I want to use that library card because, again, that kind of helps tell my story. And then this is the definition of robot card from the Boys Rule collection, and I just go ahead and put that up on foam tape. So now I'm going to start putting those layers together. And I'm just covering up areas of my photo that are, dark and aren't really telling the story. That way it really integrates the photo. And then that way I don't cover up too much of that star paper. It's still kind of peeking out from all sides. And then I go ahead, since I put the robot definition up on foam tape, I go ahead and put this little robot up on foam tape as well. And this is just some rolls of foam tape I got at the dollar store, and I went back and they don't seem to have it at my dollar store anymore, but I really love that stuff. I'm waiting to see if they get it back in or not. And then you saw that I put that other little half of that red tag over on the right hand side to kind of bookend everything in red. And I go ahead and start with the word robots, because I want that to line up under the title or under the photo. And I'm just going to left justify my title just to make it easy on myself. So it's going to be spaceships, robots, and laser beams. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this one, and it's not super readable here on video, but in person, because of the texture and the height of those foam letters, you can read it just fine. So I'm happy with that. And I want to make my third cluster down there at the bottom. So I grabbed that sticker, and I'm looking for another piece of that blue. You can see I grabbed that little tag because it matches the tag up top, and it just brings a little bit more of that blue down to the bottom. And I put that sticker like that, but I wind up flipping it because right now I have the white half of the label on the white mat, and it looks better with the black part of the label on the white mat. So you'll see me flip that here in a little bit. The sticker can go either way, so it's readable either way. And I thought about putting that "This book belongs to" circle tag on top of that robot with a clip. So I'm looking through all my clips, and I wind up not using any clips in the future. The end of this layout, but I grabbed these, and they're kind of like a heavy duty plastic, and I just didn't like the way with these layers they kind of looked funny. They kind of popped up and didn't stay down and didn't really hold it. I think they would be better just used on something where you could just kind of staple them on just for looks, but not to actually use. So I try to make it work, but yeah, they wind up going bye-bye in the end. I tried gluing them down here just to get them to stay down, but the plastic just doesn't, the adhesive just doesn't adhere well to the type of plastic the clip is. So now I'm taking a robot off that Imaginess sticker sheet, and also this recharge, and I think I used the word reboot or something like that, which is kind of what hubby's doing here in the evening, just relaxing in front of the fire with a good book. And then I also wanted to bring a spaceship. Since I have the robot, I wanted to bring a spaceship. So I didn't want this whole label with the countdown on it, so I just cut the spaceship part out of it because I like the retro look of it. I was kind of disappointed they didn't have a ray gun on this sticker sheet because that would have been perfect. And I don't have any stamps with robots or anything like that I could find. I went through all my supplies looking for space. There, I flipped that label there finally. I went through all my stuff looking for space related things. I'm sure I have a few one-offs maybe from kits or something, but I couldn't find anything. Now that this layout's done, I'm sure I'll find plenty, but I can always set it aside for another sci-fi layout with him, or something with one of the grandsons or whatever. So I just wanted to make sure I got some of that orangey red of those labels in a couple different spots. So you can see I put the robot in the upper right, the spaceship on the lower right, and then I put the reboot at the bottom of that robot tag. And I also put a little bit of this planetary border on the robot tag, and then I put it here in two more places, but I thought that was just getting too cluttery with this dark orange, so I pared it back down so I would just have the orange kind of in those three clusters. And here are the stars that I had left over from a kit, and I love the nice shiny gold. They match well with that ampersand, so I'm just going to sprinkle some of those around. And then I kind of fuss with this corner because it just had some weird spaces that weren't working for me. So I wind up moving that up a little higher and then putting my stars on there. And I know I didn't punch a hole in that tag and put any fiber in there. I know that's going to kill some of you. But it just doesn't seem to bother me. So I went ahead and just left it because the hole's too big. If I used my hole punch, it wouldn't be the right size. You know, they make those holes a little bit too big sometimes. And then now I'm just putting a little thing that says it's not a good book unless it has ... spaceships, robots, and laser beams. And then I just put the date. And then that is my masculine layout. And I think that the colors are with the navy blue or masculine. The sci-fi spaceship thing is kind of masculine. I tried not to get too fussy with it and stuff. So this is kind of my take on a, adult masculine layout. So there are the close-ups with the thickers and the spaceships and those beautiful stars. I love those. And there you have it. If you have any questions or comments or anything, just leave me a message down below and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.